guys, one more day, one more lesson. Today's lesson is about select options in data list. Last time we were talking about ready buttons that you pick one answer among several answers, or we were using the check boxes. When you have a list of options or a list of items, you can pick more than one. And we learned the difference between the ready buttons and the check boxes. Today we'll learn another way to send the information to the back-end programmer or to the server using the select element. So we're going to do this in HTML. Let me show you exactly what we are going to try to do. Something like this. So if you notice here, choose a car, this is the label, and then when you click on the select element, you'll see the several options here, or the several items, and then you pick one of them, and when you pick one of them, you click submit. So basically this is what we're going to try to create today. So we'll see how we're going to do this using our HTML file. Here inside the form, we'll start with to create this. I'm going to try today to create a list of maybe several states. We all know that we have 50 states here in the US, and I'm gonna pick like 3 or 6 of them, and then I put them in a list, and we'll learn how to do that. So let me start with the select. So I will put the select element, and here the select, you need to pick a name, and since we're gonna pick do states, so I'm gonna pick a logic name, state. And also I'm gonna use an ID with the logic ID state and then okay, let me just here between the open tag and the close tag, we're gonna list our options or our items. But before doing that, I'm gonna put here on the top a label, and since I put it a label, so we have a 4 attribute, and since we used an ID, so I'm gonna put exact same tags of the ID as a 4 right here. So it has to be the same, and then let me put a label like sometime when you fill applications and it's ask you your address, and then you have a list of states and you pick a state. So let's say I'm gonna here a question, pick your state. Okay, pick your state. Okay, that's the label, and then I'm going to list my options over here. But even before doing that, let me put a submit button here. I'm going to put a submit button. So I'm going to put a submit button, and this time, okay, I will do submit button. Okay, so let me show you. Let's save and show and reload, and look, it's gonna look how it's gonna look before even I put some options in the list. It's gonna look like this. Pick your state, and then you have an empty list, then the submit button. One thing I would like to do, I have the BR, the line break actually, so you can have the submit and the second line. So that looks much better. Okay, I will add another BR, so I need more space. So yeah, that's gonna be much better here. Okay, now let's start listing our options. I'm gonna put my the options here. So I'm gonna put options, or the list of state that I want. I'm gonna do this 3 times. Let's see, for the sake of time, let me do this and this. Okay, the most important thing in your option tag between the open and close, you need to do 2 things. You pick the label and the value. And the value is so important, because the value, this is the one that you're going to send to the back-end programmer. So let's say I'm going to, this is the 3 state, I'm going to pick 3 state here. This is California. Okay. And maybe another state, what's the top of Oregon? Okay. Oregon. Okay, also another state, maybe Arizona. Okay. Then in the value, I can put the whole California. I can put California, Oregon, again the whole text. But let's use the 2-letter abbreviation. I know that California is CA, and if I'm not mistaken, Oregon is OR, and I think Arizona is AZ. Okay, so now Let me save and reload. Let's see what's gonna look, how it's gonna look like. Here is, yeah. The reason is have California on the top because it's the beginning of the list. It's just like if we switch, if we put the Oregon in the first line, the first option is gonna be in the list. So when you click on here, or you click on the down arrow, either way, then you pick another state, Arizona, and then you click submit. I want you to look at the URL in the top here when I click submit, guys. So just like, let me make it big a little bit, so you guys can see. Okay, here it says when you hit the submit button, it says your state is Arizona. This is what you click. So if I change this from to Oregon, then I click submit. Notice what's going to happen to the URL on the top. It says state Oregon. So you want to click California, you want to leave California, submit. It's going to say California. So whatever you picked here, Arizona or Oregon, and then you hit submit, you will see it on the top here in the URL. Okay, so this is just a very basic list, and we have several options. Let's say you want to select more than one selection, more than one option. We can do that by adding on the select here attributes. You can add in the select tag, open tag. You're gonna just say multiple. That's an attribute called multiple. Once you did that and you save and then you reload here, so you have the three of them. So you can click 2 or 3. So I can click on California. Let me just make the whole thing big so you guys can see. I can click in California and Oregon and Arizona. You notice here, every time you click on one, it will deactivate the other one. But you can always hold the control key if you are using Windows, or you can hold the command key if you're using Mac. So in our case here, I click on California and Arizona. As soon as I hit submit, I want you to look at the top here. What's going to happen here? Now it's showing us from the previous run, it says state Arizona. But now it should say state California and state Arizona when I hit submit. Here you go. See, now you have two different states. State is equal California and state equal Arizona. You can change Oregon and Arizona holding the command keys, and you hit submit. So it's Oregon and Arizona. Okay, so this is using the multiple attribute. You can also, you want to specify one of them as a default, because every time you reload, you want the customer to find a defaulted one, and then he can change it. So to do that, let's say I want to have the Oregon as the defaulted one. All what you need to do is here in the option Oregon, you just use the selected attribute, and then you save and run, save and reload. So you will notice that Oregon is the highlighted one. So if you click on submit, it's going to give you the Oregon. But you can also change. You can just change it to Arizona, and then you click submit. It's going to give you Arizona. But guess what? It's still highlighting Oregon, because every time you submit or you reload, it's going to go back to the defaulted one. Okay. So now let's just go back here to our file. Okay, another thing you can do, guys, is to have opt group. What is opt group? Let's say you have several states in the Western hemisphere, the Western states, and some other states in the Midwest. So you can separate them as two different groups. So by using the opt group, so let's do that. I'm gonna go over here. Let me just remove this multiple thing, and let me remove that selected, so I don't want to forget that I have them here, and save it this way. Okay, and if I reload, so we have only California. Okay, we still have those three. Now I'm going to use the opt group tag. So the opt group tag rather than the options. Okay, so let me just, then I will list the options inside the opt group. So let me remove that now, and over here I'm gonna say opt group. Okay, so in the opt group, between the open and the close opt group, I'm gonna list my 3 different options that I did last time, which is those 3. Okay, the California and the Oregon, and but one thing to do, I'm gonna, in the opt group open tag, I'm gonna put here just like a label because I want to have a label for these states. So I'll put a label and I'm gonna call them like maybe Western states. Okay, then I'm gonna form another opt group, okay, opt group here, and in the other opt group I'm gonna put the name. Let me just put the options here, the same exact thing here. We're gonna change it in a minute. Okay, so we'll instead of California, let's take the 3 different states from maybe the Midwest, from the Midwest states. So let's just like move this. So first of all, let me pick a name here. I will call them the Midwest states. Okay, this is as a label. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot to put the label, so I have to put the label Midwest state. That's yeah. Now then I'll put Midwest state. Okay, now let's fix those. Put the Midwest states here. Let's start with maybe Kansas. I think, yeah, Kansas in the Midwest. Okay, Kansas, this is one of them, and I believe the 2-letter abbreviation is KS. Then next to Kansas, I think it's Arkansas. Okay, let's put Arkansas here. Arkansas. Okay, and then I believe it's AR. Okay, what's below Kansas? Oh, it's Oklahoma. Let's just put Oklahoma, and I believe it's okay. Okay, now let me save and reload so you guys can see what's the opt group is gonna do for us. So here I'll save and reload, and you notice here the Western states and then the Midwest states. And you cannot, by the way, it's inactive. You cannot click on the titles or the label. You have to click, you have to pick this. It's Oregon, you submit, then you see Oregon. Then you click on Arkansas, you submit, it says state Arkansas. One thing you can do so you can see the whole list actually, so because it doesn't look good, it's only showing one, which is the top California. I can change the size here in the select tag. Maybe I will put a size here, and then let's say put 10 so I will be able to see the whole thing. So I just reload. You can see here the opt group 1, the first 4 group, the Western states. We have the California, Oregon, and Arizona, and then the Midwest states. You have the Kansas and the Oklahoma. Now you can, by the way, you can do the same thing. We can go back for multiple attributes. Now it's only one. It's pictures. So every time you click one, it's going to give you one state. But you can always add the multiple attributes. So if we add the multiple attribute over here after size or before size, it doesn't matter. Multiple attribute, that will make it. You can select more than one. So in our case here, I can click on California and hold down the command key Kansas. So now I'm having California and Kansas. When I submit, it should give me 2 states here in the URL. So let's say submit. So it's giving me now state equal California and state equal Kansas. So this is how you do it with the multiple. Okay, let me remove the multiple again here. Okay. Another thing I want you to know, I still can pick a defaulted one. If you just go to any one, let's say Oklahoma, and then you say selected. So selected one, this is Oklahoma. So, and then you save and you reload, you will see the Oklahoma highlighted here because it's the default one. You can always change it to Kansas, Oregon, Arizona, anything you want. Okay. Okay, that's up till this point. Yeah, that's what I want you to know. Also, there is another good thing that was added in HTML5, which is a data list. When you have so many options and you want to have a checkbox What does that mean? Checkbox. I'm sorry, you want to have a search box. What does that mean? I'll show you what does that mean. If you look at the states here, if I click on, let's say I'm going to click on C. I'm on my keyboard now. I clicked on C. Okay. Now, oh, wait a minute. C. See, now it's California is highlighted. Now I'm going to click on K. Kansas is highlighted. Click on O. Oklahoma is highlighted. Regardless of, let's even remove the selected one. Let's even remove the defaulted one. Okay, so I will reload now without any default one. So every time you search for one, you just put the first letter of that, like A. It's gonna give you. I'm sorry, I have to be here, like here, like then I click on A. It's gonna say Arizona. If I click on A again, it should move to the Arkansas, and so on. A again is Arizona, and so you click on C, it's California. You click on O, is Oregon. So, but we don't have a search box to type. We need a search box so we can type or write. To do this, we can use the new feature in HTML5, which is data list. So let's do this now. Okay, somewhere here before the, let me put a separator here so we can see. I'll put an HR as a separator, and then I'm going to use the data list. Okay. To do this, let's put the first input here. I'm going to put input. And in the input here, rather than using type, I'm going to say list. So I'm going to say list here. And this feature is added in HTML5. And the list, I will give it a logic name since I'm going to make a list of what? How about a list of programming languages? So I'll call it programming languages. Okay. Now, after that, I want to have a name. So this is the list name, and I want to have a name to the input element. So as we know from the input, the name attribute, and I'm gonna give that name maybe a short name. I don't have to have a long name. Let's call it lang. That's short for languages. Okay. Now over here, I'm going to put my data list. So data list, and in the data list between the open and close, actually between the open and close tag, oops, I need to put it in the right place here, between the open and I'm gonna still list my options. But before listing my options, I need to link this data list to the input here. To how to link it by an ID. So ID, and in the ID, you need to mention the same exact text that you have in the list over here, the list name. This lang is for the back-end programmer. This is for the values, but this is the name of the list. Programming languages, the name of the list. So I have to have it here on the ID. So I'm going to put it here on the ID, and then I'll start listing my options. The good news is in your options here, you don't have to have a close tags. So you just have an open tag, and you have to have a value only. So let's say I'm going to let me just do several lines here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, for the value, the first one in the option, since it's programming language, maybe I'll pay C language, and then we have the Java, and then maybe I have JavaScript. Maybe I will have Python. Maybe I will have PHP. Also, I might have, since I'm from the old school, how about COBOL? I don't know if you guys still remember that name. Some people remember COBOL, and then we used to have Fortran for engineering. Since I was an engineering also, I went to engineering school. Okay, what else? Maybe Lisp. I don't know if you guys know these names or not, but anyway, so let's say we have, this is the list of programming language that we have. So now let's try. Let me just save. Did I save? Yes, I did, I think. Okay, here you go. Okay, you notice here, yeah. So this is the top one, and then here I have the check, the search box. So when you click on the down arrow here, all the options, the Java, JavaScript, and in this you can search. So say, let's say I'm going to search for C. You type C. It's going to show you everything that has C, not only the first letter. So since we have C, and then JavaScript has a C, and COBOL has a C, it's going to show you all the things that contains or includes C. So let's say have here you want to have Java, GA, so it's going to list both of the two things. You are searching for Fortran. Did I misspell this? Oh, it's Fortran. I spelled it Fortran. Okay, so that's why I didn't recognize it. So let's say here I will just it says Fortran. I misspelled it. So anyway, so and then when you click on here and then you hit submit, you notice here on the top we have the Fortran as the line here, and we also you can click on Oregon and you pick Java. So now when you click submit, it shows you the state and the lang as well. So this is by using the data list, and again this data list is only was introduced in HTML5. What else? I think I covered almost everything in select. Maybe a little detail, maybe a little things are missing, but actually you don't need to know it now. When we start working with CSS and JavaScript, we'll figure out what we need to add to this information. Okay, so this is all what I want you to know at this time of this point of time, and I will see you next lesson, guys. See you.